What's up, everyone? Welcome to Inside the Storm. Today we're diving into the heart-pounding world of Twisted, where we're not just watching tornadoes, we're chasing them. That's right, I'm stepping into the storm to see how close I can get to the chaos without getting blown away. Will I survive the fury of these massive twisters, or will I be caught in their destructive path? Stick around to find out. Neither of these tornadoes were very large, but the conditions were still looking promising. So, I decided to position myself to the north of the closest one, hoping the thermodynamics would work in our favor. With the right conditions, there's still a chance these two could intensify and grow into something much bigger. I was checking the radar and saw these two storms forming a heart shape. It looks cool, but I knew better. Tornadoes show no mercy or love, just destruction. They don't care about any patterns or symbols. I then made my way ahead of the tornado, aiming to position myself perfectly to drop my probe. Probes are crucial for studying these monstrous storms, helping gather valuable data while also earning me a bit of cash in the process. I set out to deploy multiple probes over a larger stretch of land, giving myself a better shot at intercepting the tornado. The more probes I placed, the higher my chance of gathering valuable data and getting a successful read on the storm. As I drove away, I watched in the rear view as the tornado tore through the area, hitting my probes with full force. Fortunately, this tornado turned out to be much smaller than I expected. The winds didn't even reach 100 miles per hour. So while it was powerful enough to make an impact, it wasn't nearly as destructive as some of the bigger ones I faced. As I drove away, I watched in disbelief as the tornado I had just probed decided to touch down right behind me. It almost seemed like it was deliberately jumping over my probes, as if it knew exactly where they were, completely avoiding them as it made its descent. As the tornado grew in size, I quickly tried to maneuver in front of it, hoping to get a better position. But just as I was getting close, it suddenly decided to lift back into the sky, leaving me scrambling to adjust my strategy. I decided to abandon the weak tornado and shift my focus to the other one, which had rapidly grown much more powerful. It was now tearing through the area, flinging debris everywhere with terrifying force. The tornado's forces threw me into the air, sending me flying, but luckily I wasn't hurt. I quickly regained my composure because I needed to get out there and place my probes. After regaining my senses, I took a quick look around and realized the tornado we had been chasing earlier had grown into a monster. Its size was unbelievable, and it was rapidly intensifying. I knew I couldn't waste any time. This was my chance to get in close. Without a second thought, I threw myself back into the chase and raced towards it, determined not to miss the opportunity. As I positioned myself in front of this massive twister, the sheer scale of it hit me. I could feel the power radiating off of it, and for a moment, I just stood there, in awe of its sheer force. This wasn't just any tornado. It had the potential to become something truly catastrophic. The more I watched it grow, the more I realized how dangerous this could get. My heart sank as I came into the stark realization. This wasn't just a storm I was chasing. It was a force of nature that could tear everything apart. The adrenaline kicked in, but so did the fear. This tornado was massive, and it had the power to get even bigger. I quickly dropped my probes in front of this massive twister, hoping for an intercept. As the tornado roared closer, I held my breath. And just like that, I got the intercept I was hoping for. This was more than just a successful placement. The data I'd collect could be crucial in understanding how storms like this one develop. The research could provide insights into the information and behavior of these monstrous twisters and how they evolve into such destructive forces. As I grabbed my probes, I couldn't help but notice just how massive this tornado had become. When I first spotted it, it seemed small, almost laughable, really. Some might even have brushed it off as nothing more than a brief disturbance. But now, as I watched it grow in front of me, I realized just how wrong we were. This wasn't just any storm. It transformed into a true monster, a force of nature unlike anything I had ever encountered. As the sky darkened, I realized night was falling. Not only would this tornado become nocturnal, but tracking it would also get much harder. The lack of light made it riskier, and this storm was now a monster in the dark. The tornado continued to grow, picking up speed and making it much harder to keep up. I pushed myself to get ahead, but it was quickly becoming a race against time. The tornado had grown so incredibly large that I found myself having to tilt my head back just to catch a glimpse of the top. It was so massive, in fact, that it completely overwhelmed my screen. No matter how much I zoomed out, I couldn't fit the whole thing in view. This wasn't just a storm anymore. It was a towering force of nature, too big to fully comprehend. As I checked the data from my probes, I saw that the wind speeds had already surpassed 100 miles per hour. This tornado was intensifying at an alarming rate, gaining strength faster than I could have anticipated. As night fully fell, I checked my radar and I saw that this tornado had pink TVS, which means its wind speeds were over 140. As the tornado neared the power lines, I watched in awe as the breakers exploded. This phenomenon, known as power flashes, is a clear sign of a strong tornado. It's a telltale indicator that the storm's power is reaching its peak, and the destruction it's capable of is about to unfold. As I monitored the radar, I saw that the towns of Gemmel, Tenstrike, and Hazelton Lakes were issued a tornado emergency. This warning wasn't to be taken lightly. It meant this tornado had reached a level of intensity where it was likely to destroy everything in its path. The danger was real, and the destruction it could cause was unimaginable. As I carefully picked up my probes and made the call to end the chase here, I couldn't help but reflect on the sheer intensity of what I had just witnessed. It was a wild ride, but the storm was becoming too dangerous to continue. I knew it was time to head back. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the chase. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more storm chasing adventures in the future. I'll see you in the next one.